You okay over there?
What are you all doing in here? Why are there so many lights on? Oh, is it time for the thing? Hello. It is the Stephanie Miller Show.
Oh, Lord.
It's going to get worse as I get more and more elderly. Yeah, I'll just be startled to be here every morning.
Well, you kind of are anyway.
Yeah, I'm just all blinky. There's a lot of light on in my basement. Oh, it's time for the... And then my cue, you say...
Talk, whore.
All right. Speaking of whores, May Lee, journalist extraordinaire, will be joining us.
The best whore ever.
Because John Fugelsang has a voiceover thing, so he may not be able to join us, so I'm going to send the whore light up to see if she can come early.
Okay, good.
So, for all of LA, if you see a giant red light in the sky, that's the whore signal.
It's the bat signal. It's a giant red W above the sky. And then
that could also mean Wonder Woman. I mean, you may put that up and Wonder Woman may show up.
Linda Carter might show up, and how great would that be?
It's vacation. Who knows what's going to happen?
Exactly. Oh, by the way, does Audra, she has her, it's her usual overwrought vacation song because we're going on vacation next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that time again.
Oh.
It's vacation time for Stephanie and the Mooks. Wherever you're going, we wish you well. Wherever you're heading, we know you have to go. Just one word of advice before you hit the road. All right. Don't talk to strange ladies in airport bars like you did once before. Can I kiss you? And even though it kills us to go a week without you on radio or TV, we all will survive. So farewell. Survive.
Oh, dear. Sorry, calling audibles.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Audra. I miss you already.
Wait, are you flying this time?
Yes, I am. Transvaginal bi-curious.
Oh,
as I normally do. Without a seat defender. Tall, rude man.
Good.
Tall, rude. I'll
be behind you with my
I got
knees.
some Travis defenders on the, I can't remember his Twitter emails. Because because you're tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
so
love the closet picture, by the way.
Oh,
that
we
went over
tweeted it,
really well
right,
yesterday.
a picture of Travis in his tiny little closet that we put him in to speak. Okay, we should clarify. He doesn't have to answer the phones in the closet.
That's where his equipment is stored.
I never
when he's
answer
not
the
here.
phones in the closet.
Yes, he has a little rolly desk with the phones on it.
Rolly is.
Yeah, that thing's gonna fall apart one of these days, and there's gonna be no phone system.
It's an IKEA desk, and it will fall apart.
Yeah. It's already broken once.
We'll hear it on air. We'll be like, all right, I know what that one's.
No callers.
Hope Travis is okay. Oh, by the way,
I feel like more, is the equipment okay?
Right. Cares like.
Lost a monitor.
Oops.
All right, that's why. This is why we don't have company kickball games. What does that have to do with anything? Do you ask?
You're assuming that I can play kickball without kicking this.
You're spazzy, aren't you?
Yeah. When I run, I kick the back of my butt.
Yeah.
I'm athletically inclined, kind of.
Well, because there's a workers' comp case going on.
Ooh.
Right? Columbia, South Carolina. Have you ever been hurt in a company softball or kickball game? You'd think I would require softball, being a giant, giant les and everything, but I don't.
I got my equipment in the car if you ever want to play.
The South Carolina Supreme Court says you may be entitled to workers' compensation. On this past Wednesday, the court ruled that Stephen Wiggum, who was injured in a company kickball game, is entitled to workers' compensation benefits because he was required to attend the game as part of his job. So that's why, because this ramshackle little outfit can't afford to be paying no workers' comp injuries.
That's
which is why however, I did make me think, because, sometimes, you are my paid friend, so sometimes, as you were saying, you show up how many parties?
One every three.
Yeah.
One every three.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is why you don't do pool parties here anymore, because you're afraid of the workman's comp thing.
Right, because that's what I'm saying. You could technically claim that. You could say I'm required to be here as a paid friend.
His job requires him to play sports?
Well, that's what the argument is. Was he required to be there? And if he was, it's a workers' comp injury.
So if I twist an ankle in your pool while you're riding me around trying to kiss me,
right?
That's workers'
It's
comp.
Hypothetically. Okay, well, you can't go back. The statute of limitations has run out on that. He's been working here how long?
2 years.
Okay, right.
I don't know.
Had you turned your ankle, yes, that
She's never going to have another pool party ever again.
Right. But then I would have argued you weren't required to be here, and you will be like, yes, there is an implied threat that we will be fired if we don't come at least every third party.
Email that you send for parties.
Yeah.
Well, she sends the email, and then 10 minutes later, why haven't you responded?
I need to order pita.
See? Implied threat.
Yes.
Implied threat. It's not really like a polite, oh, gosh, I really hope you can join us. No, it's not that.
No.
She says no.
But then you bait us. You're like, oh, Lily Tomlin's coming.
And then she doesn't show up.
Aisha Tyler's coming.
She also does every third party.
Yes.
I just got to
Allison Jenny will be there.
I've got to get on the Lily Tomlin cycle is what I got to do.
Yeah.
I bet everyone has the same reaction. Do we have to? Okay. Let's look at the calendar. How many have we said no to?
She's going to have to talk about us on air if we don't go.
All right. Oh, look what someone sent me, Chris. This is how I can make sure I can. Because guess what? You're still working, Cinderella.
I know. I'm going to be here next week.
He's going to be pushing buttons for the best of.
Yep.
Why?
I've stayed here when you guys are on vacation before. I know what it's like.
Yeah. Max and Fred will be here with you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do I have to feed them?
No. No, they're all good.
Okay.
All right. Because why? Because we can't afford a fill-in host anymore. Okay, that's not important. Oh, by the way, we mentioned that Rush Limbaugh is pulling the entire radio business down with his bloated carcass.
Yes.
Because he is, because advertisers just left radio in general. So,
right.
Radio's gonna, it's just like it's collapsing like
a lot of weight to drag us down.
Right. It's like a moonwalk that somebody put a thing, like a nail and a pin in. Right. Yeah. It's just deflating.
Right.
Like
Slowly.
Right.
No. Faster and faster as the days go on. But.
Right. Yes. There is a donate button at StephanieMiller.com if you enjoy this sort of programming. Okay. Greg says, so Rush Limbaugh is the Titanic of radio. He thought he couldn't be sunk, but he's taking a lot of innocents with him. Yes, that's what's happening. A lot of us are just, you know what? I'm on the little piece of wood right now. That's me. I'm on the wood, drifting. Mama drifting on the wood. Please don't flick me off the wood. Go to the donate button.
You're gonna let go of Chris, let him drown, aren't you?
Buy a podcast. Buy a video cast. Yeah, see, look. Oh, another radio station flips off the Rush Limbaugh show, this time with no warning. Let's see. Due to low ratings, another radio station switched formats and dumped Rush Limbaugh. Oh, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Bye-bye.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, when he made the comments he did about Robin Williams, our friend Louis Black, I had heard...
Yes, that's amazing.
He publicly slammed Limbaugh, obviously, and over 250,000 people liked Black's Rush Limbaugh Facebook post.
Yeah.
All right, so another... are those seagulls? What's above me? Okay. Oh, anyway, but here's how someone sent me how I can contact you next week and irritate you even though I'll be gone.
Drunk.
Right, well, yes. Samsung has introduced earphones that join together to form a necklace that vibrates when someone calls you. A mook will never again be able to claim they missed a drunken call from Mama. This is
Crap.
It's a... Right? I could.
That's assuming I remember to put
put collars on all of you, Max, Fred, the mooks, so that at any moment I have a stray thought.
Great. I'm going to be collared by my boss.
It'll be a little like a shock collar, a little like.
I was going to say this would be a shock collar now.
Where are you going? That's how I know if you're getting near the wine cellar. Okay. After unveiling its Samsung Gear S smartwatch late last night, Samsung had one more thing to show us, earphones that join together to form a necklace that vibrates when someone calls you. The Samsung Gear Circle can be paired with a smartphone to receive calls and listen to music, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that's new about the headset is its magnetic locking system. This is perfect, which turns the earphones into a vibrating necklace when they're not in use. So I'm going to slap one of those on you, too.
The worst nightmare ever. Didn't we fight a civil war over this?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, it's her calling again.
We did fight a civil war over this.
No, this wasn't invented yet. They hadn't thought of Samsung vibrating ear necklace things.
That whole thing could have turned out differently back then.
Here's, I searched for story. So much horrible news.
Yeah.
Search for stories that make me feel better about my own life. At least we are not the brother and sister arrested for in a church parking lot.
Oh
my That's wrong on so many levels.
What is not wrong just in that?
Meth must have been involved.
I do not see it here.
Really?
I don't know, which makes it maybe even worse. Nope.
Nope.
Completely sober. Yep.
Just true love. True love is all they were on.
Yes, I did.
Drunk on love.
Oh, in Georgia, shockingly.
Of course. Oh, shocking that it wasn't Florida.
I was thinking West Virginia.
They were arrested by Effingham County, Georgia police after they admitted...
Effingham?
Yes, she was. Yes, I was. After they admitted to having sex 3 times. Oh, that was some more information.
All right.
Probably the police.
They were really excited. This has been building up for a while.
It gets classier.
Oh?
3 times in a tractor trailer parked outside a church. But I do know that the people in that church know for sure that gay's Ricky.
Yes.
The 2 apparently told the officer they had decided to have sex after watching The Notebook. What? What is The Notebook?
That was one of those.
It's not a brother-sister thing, is it?
No, that was one of those who's the guy who writes all the love stories?
I know it's a tearjerker.
Yeah, it's those love story novel. Nicholas Sparks. It was those Nicholas Sparks movies, I think.
Is there anything there specifically that says, hey, if there's any siblings watching this,
it's a romantic movie.
Yeah, they're immediately in a church parking lot.
This sounds a little bit more Flowers in the Attic, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's a more appropriate movie to watch before you F your sister.
Right. At least I'm not that. I'm not that girl. Gotta say. All right. Actually, my brother's very right-wing, so that's
not going to happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Splat. Okay.
But he did try to kill you.
Yes. Yes. He tried to hang me specifically.
Yeah.
Is that more legal than incest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In suburban Buffalo, yes.
Right. It's fine.
On the scale of Christian values, which one comes first, killing your sister or effing her?
I don't know. All right, so lots to get to. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number. He's going to go back in his troll closet.
Yep, and answer your calls. If you want to talk to Travis, call 1-800-STEPH-12.
You do not need to say that because that happens way too much.
Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. Some ingenuity.
It ain't a man's world.
Some what?
Ingenuity.
Ingenuity.
Right.
No,
it's like when ingenue thinks of something really new. Okay.
Oh, that's adorable.
Right. Rand Paul taking some jabs at Hillary again.
That's right.
He wrote something.
Whatever.
A missive.
Something. Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
He said, we are lucky Mrs. Clinton didn't get her way and the Obama administration did not bring about regime change in Syria. That new regime might well be ISIS. Can I just say, first of all, I'm so sick of people assuming that if they had done this or that, everything would have worked out perfectly in Syria. Rand Paul's a
duty head.
Right. Those who said we should have done more. You know what? Go talk to your friends in your own party. What's his name? McCain and Senator Butch me up. His
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. Right.
Oh dear.
I was going to say lover. I meant Lindsey.
Lindsey.
Those who say we should have done more to arm the Syrian rebel groups have it backward. Mrs. Clinton was also eager to shoot first in Syria before asking some important questions. All right. Whatever, you teeny tiny man in a Farrell's ice cream shirt. Speaking of Hillary, this is a suggestion. We should have, you can work on this while I'm gone.
All right.
Hey, Mama, win this visit from the Hillary bus contest, and perhaps the following unpleasantness will become water under the bridge, and Hillary Clinton will finally come on the Stephanie Miller Show. The Hillary laugh, the Hillary frying pan, those incredibly tasteless and disturbing Linda Tripp, Monica and Bill segments from the 90s. Jim Ward and Carlos Alzraki doing dueling dirty old first gentleman Bill Clinton chasing someone named Sugar Buns around the White House. I don't remember that bit, but okay. Okay. So we could also get pizza. Look, come on, somebody. Special delivery, win a visit from the Hillary bus, and a pizza party with 10 friends. Throw your name in a hat, chip in $3 or more. We can afford $3 at readyforhillary.com.
Yeah. Notice this is
win pizza with the bus.
Notice this is just a visit from the bus. It's not a visit from Hillary.
Oh. Well, you know what? I'll start monitoring the bus.
And nowhere in that does it say, win a visit with Hillary.
Maybe I didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, you didn't read the fine print.
Well, if I give a thoughtful and respectful interview to the bus, perhaps Hillary will follow. Or whoever's driving. You get to interview who drives the bus or the pizza delivery guy?
I'll take the pizza. I'll definitely take the pizza.
All right, fine. Okay. All right. So, speaking of ISIS, jihad militants from ISIS appear to have killed dozens of Syrian army soldiers. Twitter accounts belonging to jihadists had boasted about 250 deaths. A video posted online purportedly shows the aftermath of the killings, a long line of bodies of young men lying face down, stripped to their underwear.
Well, they made them strip to their underwear, then they marched them across the desert.
That was the first video, and then
oh, God.
The president talking about ISIS yesterday.
We will continue to consult with Congress, and I do think that it'll be important for Congress to weigh in, and or that our consultations with Congress continue to develop, so that the American people are part of the debate. But I don't want to put the cart before the horse. We don't have a strategy yet.
And that sentence right there caused a maelstrom in the media.
Right.
We do not have a strategy yet.
Right. No matter what he would have said, John McCain would have been on TV instantaneously saying
that. I don't think he should have put it that way. And the White House backtracked from it.
Okay. Well, the point is, by the way, I'll get to this when we get back. Somebody wrote a great roundup of how incredibly wrong John McCain has been on virtually every foreign policy issue. So okay, so anyway, we'll talk about all that as we continue. 29 minutes after the hour, it's the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. 34 minutes after the hour, 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number, toll-free from anywhere. Let's start with Anita in San Antonio. Hi, Anita.
Hi, good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Moose.
Hello.
I was really impressed by President Obama's briefing yesterday. And, the fact that he said, we don't have a strategy yet, I took it, we're not going to jump into situations without considering the implications.
Well, thank you.
Refreshing.
No, I mean, I agree with you, and because I think no matter what he would have said, and this is true, Anita, either they would have said he's overreaching, he's acting like a king, he's doing something without Congress's consultation, or John McCain would have said he's not doing enough. Whatever it is, he's not doing enough, and he's not doing it fast enough. I mean, so...
Yeah, he can't win, but,
right.
This is what we, I wanted from him. I don't want him to just jump into situations. We saw that with George Bush.
Well, thank you. And by the way, if we wanted a hothead that was going to rush into every war, we would have elected John McCain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I mean, this is, for those of us that remember every day of that run-up to the Iraq War, you're absolutely right. Right? It was just hurry, die, kill.
I was relieved. I was, impressed by his thoughtfulness and the fact that he said he was, considering what the military people were saying to him, and
right.
I was just impressed by the whole thing. So
right, yeah. No, I mean, I was saying it's these armchair generals that and particularly people that lost, like Mitt Romney and John McCain. Apparently, everything would have just absolutely gone perfectly in all these complicated situations if only they were president. I guess, right, is the implication.
Yeah, it's so easy when you don't really have to make those decisions.
Right. I mean, exactly.
So much easier when you know.
And this is complicated stuff, all of it. Syria, Russia, all of the stuff that's happening. It's like, how can they sit there and talk about Putin and Russia when, he invaded Georgia while George Bush was president? You didn't hear any of this stuff. That, it's because he's leading from behind and he's weak and blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, yeah, and... Exactly. That was the entire consultation before Iraq was...
We have to strike now, sir. Annihilate. Kill. Shut up! Shut up!
Right. Remember shock and awe? Gotta go now. Gotta kick the inspectors out. Gotta go.
Gotta go now. Now.
Okay, the president again. President
Obama. What I've seen in some of the news reports suggests that folks are getting a little further ahead of where we're at than we currently are. And I think that's not just my assessment, but the assessment of our military as well.
Let's go to Willis in Milwaukee. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hey, Willis.
How you doing, Stephanie?
Good. Go ahead.
I'm glad I get a chance to talk to you. Hey, Stephanie, I think the president had a strategy before.
What? What was it?
Yeah, he had a strategy before to get Maliki out of the office. And
right.
Then, get Maliki out of the office, and then get the Sunnis and the Shias to come together where they can fight against ISIS.
Right.
Because they want boots on the ground.
Right.
That's the strategy.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Every time, I mean, look, no matter what he does, John McCain accuses him of not having a strategy. And, you know, you're like, really? And the other thing, I heard someone on TV the other day saying the same thing I've said. I'm so sick of this. Oh, you know, he was just blundered through Syria. Really? I think, you know, well, first of all, that outcome was about as good as we could get at that moment. Again, it continues to be difficult. These are not easy situations, but you're like, really? So we got a dictator to admit he had weapons of mass destruction and disarm entirely without firing a shot? I mean, how is that?
I just think the way he worded it yesterday made it seem like he wasn't on top of things. I know he is, but the way he worded it yesterday made it seem like he's not.
If only he could be as sure and as right as John McCain all the time.
Now, don't take it personally.
Would you like the fun facts? Who put this together? It's fabulous. John Soules, on Huffington Post.
Okay.
The media and John McCain, how someone always wrong is always on TV. I saw the clip of him tutoring Chuck Todd on what to do when he takes over Meet the Press. Yeah. He said, as the guest that's been on the Meet the Press the most, isn't that fabulous? He's on the Meet the Press, the highest number of appearances of anybody.
Yes, and Meet the Press has the lowest ratings of the three major shows. So
the number of times Senator
maybe that's
McCain
a correlation.
Hasn't just been wrong, but deadly wrong on matters of our security is nearly impossible to count. But he gave it a good shot. Would you like to let's scratch the surface, shall we? Senator John McCain wrong on Iraq. In the lead-up to Iraq, Senator McCain told anyone who would listen there was a link between Saddam Hussein and al-Qaeda. Senator McCain said he, like Dick Cheney, thought we would be welcomed as liberators. Senator McCain wrong on the surge in Iraq. The true goal of the surge fell to the Iraqi political leaders who were nowhere near ready to settle their differences. That's what this last caller just alluded to. The surge failed at doing what Senator McCain predicted it would. Iraq still doesn't make all groups feel inclusive, which has led to the Sunnis letting ISIS get as far as it has. There is no settlement of oil revenue. Sunnis have been isolated by the Maliki government. All the surge did was keep the cork on the bottle, but all of the underlying issues remain to the point that we now have to send special forces back to Iraq. So the point is, Iraq was always going to have to do this for themselves. So it's like you can't just go, oh, well, that worked, and now it's Obama's fault that it didn't. Okay. Senator McCain wrong on arming Syrian rebels. As far back as 2012, John McCain was advocating arming of Syrian rebels. He even went to Syria and took a picture with them, and so we sent small arms over to Syria. And what happened? A particular segment of the rebels, ISIS, consolidated a bunch of the territory in Syria, including oil wells, using some of those arms. There's no possible course of action that would have allowed moderate rebels to fight ISIS, which is what the president said. He said it was force.
Yes.
Let's see. Senator John McCain wrong on the surge in Afghanistan. Senator McCain said we would see signs of success in Afghanistan in just 18 months. He said it wasn't even as tough as Iraq. Our own military has determined that the surge in Afghanistan was a failure. The Afghan military simply will be unable to hold all the terrain we recovered during the surge once we depart. Senator John McCain wrong on Libya. Senator McCain advocated sending arms and training to Libyan rebels. He promised that if we did, we'd see, quote, the beginning of a peaceful and inclusive transition to democracy that will benefit all Libyans. And so we sent the arms. They were captured by extremists.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. And how's that whole peaceful thing? Whatever.
Going?
Yeah, not so much. No. Not so much. Senator McCain wrong on the GI Bill. McCain stated that a more generous GI Bill would lead to a mass exodus of non-commissioned officers who would quit the military to go to college. The truth is, retention has not become an issue since the new GI Bill was passed over Senator McCain's bloviating. Oh, this is my personal favorite. Wrong on Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Yes,
Perhaps
he was.
No issue got Senator McCain more worked up. Not the policies, not the policy. And more obstinate than dropping the ban on gays serving openly in the military. It will lead to a mass exodus of troops who won't want to serve alongside gay service members. It will lead to an adverse effect on battle readiness and effectiveness. Not a single thing has changed on the ground, and none of this has happened. Has he ever apologized for all the...
Oh, hell to the no.
Fear-mongering he did. So far in 2014, public confidence in news media is at a record low. I can't blame Senator McCain for all of that, but his constant appearances on our airwaves as some kind of expert certainly isn't helping.
Nope.
Thank you.
Candy Crowley.
Because he's always so sure. I don't know why I so remember all of that stuff he said because he's an expert and he's a veteran. He knows exactly what's going to happen if we let gays in the military. He just wrong.
Doesn't know a GD thing.
Okay.
Tui.
Charles in Iowa. Hi, Charles. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome.
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, good morning to you and your staff.
Thank you.
Big
Staff,
fan
hi.
of yours. I agree with President Obama on taking his time, going through, getting all the facts before he makes a move. I mean, it just makes sense. But I know our friends on the right, they're going to keep up the hate and discontent.
Hate is going to hate.
Credit. I'm going to give him credit for dealing with these old hostile in the closet racist Republicans. Homeboy's keeping a cool head. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you.
I want to say,
Thank
Stephanie,
you.
you're a beautiful woman.
Oh, why, thank you. I like everything you say, Charles.
Yeah, she
you are
doesn't
right
hear-
about everything.
She doesn't hear that often, so she collects those like bon mots.
Homeboy's got it right, is what he's saying.
A homeboy does got
Let's
it
hear
right.
it for the president. President Homeboy, wait. Okay.
And don't say home slice.
No.
Nobody's said that since the 80s.
No.
Okay.
Joe in Chicago, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Joe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just two things. One, we really have to blame President Obama for the fact that Republicans don't consider him to be an effective, legitimate leader. The reason is he refuses to do what all the effective Republican presidents used to do when they were leaders, and that is walk around wearing a cowboy costume.
Yes.
They made all their speeches.
Yes. Perhaps you look more like the sheriff in Blazing Saddles.
Although he did get
They would take
criticism.
him.
He did get criticism for his tan suit yesterday.
Oh, but if he just wore the boots and the hat and everything, I think he'd be much more effective as a leader.
All right, I think that's a good idea. A costume, more costumes, exactly.
Did you see his tan suit?
No, so his suit is also too brown in addition to... Okay.
It was a little ill-advised.
Whatever, for God's sakes. No, I didn't see his tan suit.
You didn't? Okay.
Marcus Bachman.
Hello. I'm just saying.
Hello, Donald in Illinois. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Yes, hi, Steph.
Hello.
Yeah, I was listening to Norman Goldman yesterday, and there was one individual that calls up. I could tell he had an East European accent, probably from that area of Ukraine. And he was really adamant. I mean, he was really going against President Obama, saying that he should be doing this. We should be sending over missiles and everything else. And he wouldn't give Norman Goldman a chance to talk. And he literally told him we should be going to war with Russia before they start taking over every country there is in that area. You know, the Eastern.
Right.
He said they're going to take over one country after another.
Right.
Yeah,
start bombing Russia immediately. That seems well advised.
Oh, yeah, and I am so glad that President Obama is at the helm. My God, if it was either McCain or that idiot, what's his name, the Batman, the Romney.
Mittens.
If it was him, if he was in, if either one was in, it would be a tragedy.
Yep.
It would be a tragedy
I agree.
for this country.
I agree. All right, Batman. Okay, 45.
Huh?
What? 45 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Call the political party.
It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. 50 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEP-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. My friends and I were together last night just saying this summer has been a storm of epic proportions. In every way, I just think that around the world, in a lot of people's lives that I know, including mine. But so Joan Rivers, that was shocking news that broke during the show. I hope she's okay. It's hard to say. They're saying she's in stable condition. That was what, according to E, the network she works with, she was in stable condition at Mount Sinai. She stopped breathing, I guess is what the report is, during
the surgery.
Surgery operation on her vocal cords. Joan is resting comfortably after she was hospitalized. Her daughter said, she said, I want to thank everyone for the overwhelming love and support from my mother. She is with our family. So this morning there's some reports.
Yeah, the New York Daily News is reporting that that doctors placed Joan Rivers in a medically induced coma, and she will remain there in a coma until the weekend, during which time Rivers' daughter Melissa will speak with doctors about the damage that might have been done to her brain.
Yeah, my God. Yesterday you just got the sense, like, given her age, we were saying at 81, it just didn't sound good. And it's hard to know what, when reports like this happen, exactly what's happening or how serious.
Right.
I think the Daily News was quoting a family, a source close to the family or something that said this is bad. We're scared. So anyway, just thoughts and prayers out. We just had her on not too long ago,
and she was great.
Yeah, she was hilarious. We had Member Fugelsang was with us that day in studio. Anyway,
we talked to her about her book, which I still need to get. Sounds fascinating.
Yeah. I'll never forget when I was a little tiny baby comic and I saw her in Vegas. It was, it was amazing. All right. So anyway, thoughts and prayers out. What's tough and really like a tough summer for the comedy community, for everybody I know, between Robin Williams and this is just scary.
Yep.
All right, 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number. Richard in Asheville, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hey, Richard.
Hey, thank you for letting me say this. I've got friends that are still in the military. I'm a veteran and served, and the thing that concerns me is they are telling me they've never seen anyone like this group.
ISIS. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that.
And it's just, they're crazy, I guess, is the shortest way to get to the point. And I agreed with the gentleman there on your show, and he said the president's speech came across, and sometimes I want to support our president 100%, but I feel like his speechwriter, I just want to hit him, because I think if he doesn't have the plan yet, I understand that, and I think...
Let us know he's working on one.
Yeah, I think the part of the problem, Richard, is there's just so much screaming. Look, they're suing the president, which, Cece Goldwater was on yesterday talking about. She can't imagine a time in our history that any of, who we recognize as Republicans would have thought to sue the president. And so I think they're so quick to scream overreach of powers. I think what he was trying to say is we continue to consult with Congress on, what to do about this. Because,
like I said, I wish we could do that. I wish he could come on and say, hey, folks, you have been concerned or worried about wars, and we are too. And we're trying to proceed cautiously. I think people would applaud that.
Right.
It was the way...
I just, those particular 4 or 5 words, right.
And that's what people have latched on to, unfortunately.
Right, but I think... What he said, primarily what he says, we will continue to consult with Congress so Americans are part of this debate. So I think that, and you're right, that is largely, not large, but a large part of why he was elected, because we'd just been through the Bush administration in Iraq.
Right.
And so anyway, okay, so he got 4 or 5 words wrong.
And it made it seem like he didn't have a contingency plan. It's like... little nervous. It just made me a little nervous hearing that.
The president yesterday.
We need to make sure that we've got clear plans so that we're developing them. At that point, I will consult with Congress and make sure that their voices are heard.
I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. I disagree with you on it. I'm so tired of the constant, relentless stream of criticism, no matter what his wording is. And that's our problem on our side, is they support each other no matter what on their side. And we're always like, oh, he used 4 words wrong.
No, you know what? We're more intelligent than they are. We criticize when we...
What he said is fine. He's having a careful, thought-out plan. He's consulting with Congress. I'm fine with that. I don't think this is an easy problem.
The way he spoke extemporaneously yesterday made it seem like there wasn't even a contingency plan. That's a little worrisome.
No matter what he would have said, they would have criticized him on the right.
Here's
a specific plan. Everybody on the Sundays shows would say, this is why this is the wrong plan.
Right. I am not they. I don't go on Sunday shows. I'm just telling you what I think as a Democratic American, what I thought of his speech yesterday.
I'm telling you I think you're wrong as a Democratic American. So there.
All right.
Nate in Connecticut, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Nate.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
So, I think the president just meant they don't have a complete plan because, they're right. If there's one thing America is actually good at, it's getting into wars and fighting the wars. It's after what comes after. So I thought he just meant, we don't have a complete plan for what becomes before and after, because when they're trying to get what we have today.
That's right. And that's all, that was my only point, is all of this we're dealing with, Nate, is a direct result of the fact that we went into Iraq in the first place. And, part of it is, like, I just went through this whole thing. It's a lot of the stuff that John McCain has advocated that has gotten us into this. His policy in Syria, or what he thought was going to help, is actually hurt and helped create ISIS. I mean, so I think you're absolutely right. We need to be very careful about what we do now, right?
Yeah, just have a complete plan. As for Ukraine, though, I do feel bad for the Ukrainians because they did kind of disarm themselves and bring down their nuclear arsenal with the agreement that if something did happen in the future, that they would have some type of military support from people. I'm not saying we should bomb Russia, but if the Russians do invade Ukraine and they're on Ukrainian soil, if we send a couple of drones to let them know you invade another country, we're going to do. I don't like war. I was in the military myself in the Marines. I have no misgivings. I think war is an awful thing. I like what President Obama does and uses it as a last option, which it should be. But you have to feel bad for the Ukrainians, especially because that's what nuclear weapons were all about. People don't actually are going to use them.
Yeah.
We use them to deter the other side, saying, hey, we fire yours, you fire theirs, and we all die. That doesn't make sense, so stop what you're doing.
Yeah, and
now
Nate,
they don't have that threat.
And Nate, here's another example where, you know, the right wing's like just blind hatred of the president, which has led to really like Putin worship in some circles of the right wing and on Fox News. What do you say now? Do you know what I mean? Like to literally compliment him at the expense of President Obama. So what do you say about this? Like, I mean, this is an invasion, isn't it? And
it's sickening. And the worst part is, you know, Putin can actually run on the Republican Party and be nominated. He could be a governor or something or a senator. He would fit well in their party. That's the sickening part of it.
Yeah.
And he is just like them. Him and John McCain, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've never seen them in the same place, you know.
But yeah, once again, they don't ever condemn Putin. They don't condemn the person, like, responsible. Right. They find it as a backdoor way to criticize President Obama. Yep. All right, 58 minutes after the hour, Tina Dupuis next on the Stephanie Miller Show. Yes, it is. It's Horror Fridays.
You just put lipstick on.
What?
You just put some bright red lipstick on.
Yes, I did.
It matches your shirt.
It's day before vacation.
It's whore lipstick.
And I have whore nails.
Yes.
For Horror Fridays. Well-known journalist Horror May Lee. We'll be in shortly. All right, 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number. Toll free from anywhere. Complete non-whore. Just delightful and classy in every way.
Speaking of funny and smart, I want to bring on Tina Dupuis. Tina Dupuis is brilliant. She's funny. She's a terrific writer.
Tina does everything, and I just love her already.
I feel like that should be my new Twitter bio. Complete
non-whore.
Tina Dupuis, not a whore. Since 1980, whatever. Okay. No, although your jingle makes me feel hoary, could I just say?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Tina Dupuis.
Jingle.
By the way, I know I was looking at you. I don't know if you were saying to Travis, we thought August. What happened to August being a slow news month?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
what was that? I was like, okay, well, in Congress, not that Congress does anything when they're in session,
right.
But they're out of session. Everybody's going to be, you know, in the proverbial Hamptons or otherwise. It's going to be, you know, just kind of mellow and.
Well, I was just going to say, instead it's been a horrible news, August, including the fact, by the way, that I don't know if you know this, they are running low on rosé in the Hamptons. Speaking of the tragedies around the world.
Oh, that's so horrible.
It is.
Poor people.
It is. Some Hamptons residents are being, they can only get 4 bottles at a time.
Oh, my God.
Right?
God.
The horror, the inhumanity. Now.
Awful. What's next, Stephanie? Chardonnay?
What? No! Speaking of commerce, this is a really interesting piece you wrote, punishing Africa for buying our exports. It's interesting, just our sense of human rights, but then I guess, your point being when it collides with profit, right?
Right. Well, I think that we talk about, and especially this month, we talked about we use the word racism, and we use it so much, and and racists are so offended by that word that we no longer define our terms of what racism is. And racism really is if you see a man with a gun and you consider him a patriot, or you see a man with a gun and you consider him a murderous thug, and that is hinges on the color of the person's skin. That is what is known as a double standard. If there is a group of people protesting and if they are a riot, if they are black and they are, and they're protesters if they're white, that's a double standard.
Right.
And this has bled over into our foreign policy where, just in case your listeners are not familiar with this story, we let people like Rick Warren, but Rick Warren and other homo hysteric preachers have gone to Africa, and they've told Africans that the root of all their problems is that they're not mean enough to homosexuals. Now they say that to Americans, and we go, yeah, you guys, whatever. But this is really stuck in Africa, so they've Uganda specifically has tried to pass legislation to, in fact, kill gays, put people to death for the death penalty. And now there are 10 senators who signed a letter basically saying, we want our trade policy with Africa needs to act, or with these African nations needs to be re-examined because of their human rights violations. Now, that on its face, I would absolutely agree with. The problem is that the Ugandans don't have any have the same attitude towards homosexuals as, I don't know, Alabama. But even worse than that, we have trade partnerships with Guatemala, and they also have criminalized homosexuality. The Caribbean nations that we have trade agreements with, they also some even have life prison sentences for consensual sexual acts between two same-sex partners. So if we're giving a pass to people in our own hemisphere, let alone our own country, and then we're deciding to pick on African nations where they have the highest rate of HIV infection in the world, where people are suffering from not only extreme religious views, but extreme poverty and now Ebola.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Tina, though you're right. I mean, in terms of our own record, you say, much to my chagrin, what we haven't done is be a leader in human rights. We eradicated slavery long after Europe. We were far from first on women's suffrage. We're the only Western nation to still execute our own citizens. We lag way behind in LGBT rights. You say, remember in the 80s, most of Europe had already decriminalized homosexuality, while in the U.S., not only was it still being punished by jail time, and we remember back, you were saying, Jerry Falwell wrongly calling AIDS the gay plague, sodomy laws were still in effect until the Supreme Court overturned them in 2005. And I didn't even know this. They're still on the books in 11 states, but unenforceable, of course. And then
they're symbolically there because they want to make a stance that they disagree with that, but they let the laws have no teeth.
Right, and then you say currently more states ban gay marriage than allow it, but very few businesses openly condemn same-sex couples. So we've struck that balance again, I guess, is your point. But I mean, it really, when you read like all the countries, not just Uganda and Nigeria, you're saying in Belize and Guyana, same-sex relations earn prison time, 10 years to life. Gays in the Caribbean fare no better. You say these senators are wagging their fingers at Africa, but what about their own hemisphere, let alone their own nation? And then you say I'm an extremist when it comes to human rights. I'm so out there, I even oppose torture. Tina.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you?
Shocking.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway, you say, do I think America's trade partners' severe treatment of LGBTs is acceptable? Absolutely not. Do I think we should hold fledgling African markets to a higher standard on human rights than Russia? No. We sold our hate, and now we're punishing our best customers. It's bad for us and worse for them. Just really interesting stuff as usual, Tina Dupuy.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this was like, this normally I'm the person to be out there and say, you know what, like you have to treat everybody the same. But like when it comes to Africa, this is, if we're using a double standard for Africa, that's deplorable. But also from, an egalitarian standpoint, everybody will be better off if these poor African nations have a thriving economy, have a chance to not only treat people who have HIV and AIDS, but their fellow human beings better. I mean, when it comes to our policy with Africa, it should be more like of a triage than figure wagging. Like, we should go in and say, like, what can we do that will benefit the most people, and not kind of like nitpick what they're doing wrong when they're an emerging economy, and we have turned a blind eye to people who like are our neighbors and really people who, our neighbors and the South. But, that we are choosing to point this out. It just rubbed me wrong. And especially in the wake of this kind of Ebola crisis on the continent and watching Ferguson and seeing this in our own backyard as to there is such a wide kind of acceptance of a double standard for whatever reason and lack of human empathy for their suffering.
Tina, more importantly, where do you come down on the president's tan suit? There's been quite a bit of controversy, pro or...
No, here's the thing. It actually reminds me of the couches that are in the Oval Office. When he first got those couches, I was like, I've never had an emotional reaction in my entire life to a couch, and then I saw them and I was like, those are the most ugly couches ever. Oh, God.
And so you're not a fan of his tan suit?
But it's the same horrible color as a couch. It actually reminds me and matches those stupid couches. So
wow,
it's the color of baby poop.
Yeah, it's bonk, Mr. President.
I thought he looks fine. I don't.
Not a win. No. Google the couches.
Okay. All right.
It's just there's a precedent. It's been a long-standing slow trudge towards this inevitable tan suit.
Marcus Bachman's free now, isn't he? He doesn't have to be Michelle's personal shopper anymore.
Oh yeah, no, he's personally shopping. Let's put it that way.
All right. Tina Dupuy, you remain a delight.
We're ending on a Marcus Bachman joke. I love it.
All right,
Okay.
Love you. Talk to you next time.
Thank you, Stephanie. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
there
Tina.
she goes, Tina Dupuy.
By the way, you just got a tweet from someone that said they were listening to an old 2008 episode of the Stephanie Miller Show, and you called her Tuna Dupuy.
Freudian slip. Mike and Madison, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Mike.
Hi. I guess I'm one of these people that can acknowledge that no matter what President Obama says or does, it's a no-win situation for him. And to watch Granty McCain go on these shows and laugh and chuckle and try and make himself into being a big man that he is not, I'm much more concerned about what's happening in America than I am with the terrorists over there. When we allow sedition out of our national capital and all the state houses all across this country, and not enough people standing up for it yet. That's when we'll get some change, and that's when we can get change across this world where people will see that real people are living here instead of these puppets that we are mastered by.
Yep, absolutely. All right, he had to get that out of his craw, I could tell.
Yeah, okay. It was festering.
All right, 17 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it. Journalist whore, May Lee, hopefully on her way in. 22 minutes after the hour.
Or she might still be sleeping. Who can say?
Because she was out.
Whoring.
Okay. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number told.
She whores like you drink.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's not a love letter, but I'd say, just give me some love music anyway. It's from our Facebook page, and it just made me laugh. Because I had a troll and then a defender.
It often happens.
Yes. Someone named Joe Goslin said, I can't believe they actually give Stephanie Miller Show airtime. I've watched on Free Speech TV and usually watch with an open mind, but this show is just plain dumb and lacking substance. You folks mock people and then present news. Just plain dumb. Ronnie Marshall, Joe Deere, blow it out your ass. Thank you.
I love our listeners and viewers.
I love you, Ronnie. It was very polite. Yeah. He called him dear.
Dear.
And he even said please. Okay.
And then he said ass.
Let's go to Pam in New Hampshire. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
I have 2 points. Do you guys remember how calm Obama was at the Correspondence Center before they got Osama bin Laden?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think he'd be really stupid enough to announce they don't have a plan? Do you think he's really going to announce to the world while ISIS is watching?
Hey, ISIS, here's our exact plan. Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he'd be stupid enough to go on national TV knowing the world is watching. He never says what he does, and we're always surprised.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just remember in the Bush administration, we can't tell the terrorists what we're doing, but now that we have a black president, he's supposed to tell us what he's going to do.
Right, or he has no strategy, or he's leading from behind, or he's weak, and he's wearing a tan suit. Okay. The State Department
people were exercised about the tan suit yesterday.
They're exercised about everything. Jen Psaki.
It's increased over the last 6 months. We've seen an increase in the use of Western passports.
Mike Rogers, Republican of Michigan.
This is as dangerous a threat matrix as I have ever seen in my time on the Intel Committee, which is about 10 years.
I believe that. From everybody I've heard.
Chuck Hagel said this.
Yeah, Republicans and Democrats, they say these guys are awful.
And Matrix sounds even scarier because they could be suspended in midair like Keanu Reeves.
Or we could just take the blue pill. Red. I never saw Matrix. So.
Representative Peter King.
There was clear and convincing evidence then that there was a pipeline from Minneapolis to Islamic Jihad overseas, and that people in the community knew about it, and people in the community were covering it up.
Yeah, what up with Minneapolis sending all
what
these?
Up, Minneapolis? What's going on? I thought, what happened in Minnesota Nice?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
All right, Drew in Indiana. You're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Drew.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning.
Oh boy! Don't make her head swell even more.
I like it.
Oh well, it's vacation day. It's getaway day. So
exactly.
Swell away. Swell away.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yes. The problem, obviously, is ISIS. These guys are very dangerous, but the right describes them with the same rhetoric that they describe President Obama, that they describe abortionists, that they describe anybody who disagrees with them on any point. It's all the same rhetoric.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, honey, thank you. Let's go to Don in Florida. Hi, Don.
Yeah, I think we have to recognize that we are in the middle of the 20th anniversary of the Republican Revolution, and it's like the Islamic thing. They say they have one fair vote, and then everything else is hammer. And that's what happened with us. The Republicans took over in 1994. They declared a revolution.
Yeah.
And now we have 5 corporation lawyers on the Supreme Court who only let cases come that say those with too much money in corporations have the right to get over on a general population. We're described in the Constitution. Corporations and those with too much money are not. And everything that was ever written says the individual does exist, but the Federal Election Law of 1971 says you only exist if you take bribes and become incorporated. And you can't bring constitutional republic of, by, and for the people, free speech, free press, and real elections to the United States District Court in Tampa, or to the United States Supreme Court. It all hinges on a professional, bribe-taking, corporation, political form of government. And
I'm guessing it's those 5 corporate lawyers that Mitch McConnell is praying for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He said that he prays for the health of the Supreme Court, but only the good ones.
Only the good 5 of them.
Right.
Yeah, the chicks,
Exactly. All right. The president on the situation. In case you didn't know the situation, Ukraine's president declared a Russian invasion of his country was underway, and the United Nations Security Council called an emergency session to discuss the latest crisis involving allegations of Russia's overt support for Ukrainian rebels.
They're driving tanks into Ukraine now.
Yeah. Did you see Canada's master trolled the Russian army on Twitter? They helpfully posted this.
Yeah.
Map that just says Russia, not Russia.
Including Crimea.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in case you're... geography can be tough. Here's a guide for Russian soldiers who keep getting lost and actually accidentally entering the Ukraine. Yes, and it's a little helpful Russian, non-Russian map.
Thank you.
All right, the president.
The violence is encouraged by Russia. The separatists are trained by Russia. They are armed by Russia. They are funded by Russia. Russia has deliberately and repeatedly violated the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine.
Ooh, Putin is so strong, isn't he?
Ooh,
he's so strong, and he leads from the front instead of from the behind. He's not weak and indecisive like...
Andrea Tantaros wishes Putin were in charge here.
At least for... Oh, no, that was Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Oh, Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I get my
If only we could put Putin in charge here.
Then things would get done. Because he's so great.
Exactly. We could invade Canada. We could have we could own Canada in like 2 days.
And they'd have to put out a map that says Canada, not Canada.
Right. Okay. 29 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
So fluffy.
Man, free, I got ruined. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it, 34 minutes after the hour. Come on. Okay, journalist May Lee on her way in.
That would send my cat across the room if I hit them that hard.
He's a good boy. Okay, he likes it. Take it. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Kurt in Los Angeles, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Kurt.
Hey, good morning, gang. How you guys doing?
Good, go ahead.
Hey, you know what? I called to say that President Obama's tan suit, that was part of his plan.
Oh, yeah?
That's his version of the weapons of mass distraction. Remember George Bush?
Yes.
When George Bush used to make his speeches, he'd go, you fooled me once, you fooled me twice, you ain't gonna fool me again. So he'd come up, he'd stutter, act a buffoon, and everyone would talk about how dumb George Bush was making his speech, and you never knew what he was doing. Well, Obama came out and said, you know what? Let me throw my pimp suit on today and let these fools talk about this for the next 24 hours while I sit in the SEAL Team 6 and get these hostages back.
All right, thank you, honey. That might be it. Might be the word getting the hostages back. Like my pimp suit? Okay.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you.
Oh, no.
It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Love letter. Quick love letter.
All right.
I could use this right now. This is from, let's see. Joan in Carlsbad. Okay. Pardon me. Hey, Steph, you've been sounding a little down lately. Yes. What with broadcasting from your basement, freezing your vagina, a whole wine catastrophe in Napa. So I wanted to let you know you do make a difference, have an impact on people's lives, whether you realize it or not. I've been listening to your show since 2004 elections and have been, had a podcast for as long as available. Sure, shameless plug here. Sure. Yeah. StuffCast, $4.95 a month. Year in advance. Okay. Or Fear of Commitment, $7.95.
$7.95. Yeah. Which is still a bargain.
When my daughter was in high school, 2004 to 2008, we shared a computer, and she would download your podcast and listen to it while she was editing photos for the school paper. She graduated last year from a fancy art college in Chicago, another one of those surly teenagers we helped raise.
That's right.
So she could pursue her dream of becoming a professional photographer. Listening to those hours and hours of the Stephanie Miller Show, her ultimate goal, to be a documentary photographer. So when things exploded in Ferguson, she jumped in the car with some other photographers, drove there to document what was going on. Should I blame you for the text I got around 2 a.m. saying, hey, Mom, did you know tear gas burns?
Oh, dear.
I do a little, but I'm immensely proud of her, and I'm glad that listening to you gave her a sense of the wider world. So when you feel like you're not getting anywhere with the Billies and Texases, remember, you are not only helping us middle-aged listeners stay sane, you also influence the next generation to take action. I'm attaching a picture of my daughter, beautiful, when we met all of you at Sexy Liberal Chicago in 2012. Thanks again for all you and the Mooks and Mookettes do. Joanne. Speaking of Ferguson, I also think I have the power to, we say it here, and then Hillary Clinton does it there. We said, I think she needs to make a statement about Ferguson. And what did she do?
She made a statement in Ferguson in San Francisco yesterday.
I'm just saying.
Nobody wants to see our streets look like a war zone. Not in America. We are better than that.
Then she went on to say...
We cannot ignore the inequities that persist in our justice system. Inequities that undermine our most deeply held values of fairness and equality.
Robin Mesa, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Rob.
Hello. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, I remember back in the day when the conservatives used to make fun of liberals for being tax and spend liberals. And, I thought, today that's actually fiscally responsible because you're basically accounting for the money before you spend it. Right now the conservatives are just out of control. They're just the drunken sailors of, finance.
Yeah.
And I'm really convinced that the Republicans are really bad in math.
Yeah, well, just even the money they're spending, just stuff like suing the president or defending DOMA or stuff that it's just, it's useless.
Right. So I thought of an idea. Why don't we put the whole military budget in its own little bin? The planes, cars, the pensions, everything to do with the military
in a lockbox.
Its own pension, right? And then make it a payroll deduction or a business tax. And that way you would pay for it as you go along. So when you make a $3 trillion loan, we all sacrifice at the time of the loan. You know, that tax could be $15 during no wartime, but when it goes up during wartime, you see it go up to $300 a check, and everyone would see it. Then it's accounted for, and everyone pays for it at the time, because that would also play into whether we go to war or not. Because
Did he just swear?
Yes, he did.
I missed that entirely.
Yes, because you were talking.
Anyway, I was going to say, that's the thing that cannot be said enough is Bush's 2 wars were off the books. And what kind of fiscal conservatives that there's just a blank check for war? Who pays for that? Like, I mean, it's exactly why we got into the financial situation we did. Douglas in St. Louis, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Doug.
Well, good morning, Mom and Chris.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Glad to talk to y'all. I wanted to ask, I've been off a couple of days because I got a case of gout, and I've been scanning all of the news feeds and media,
right.
And I haven't seen anybody bring up this or heard it, is that one of the big problems, it's kind of like with 9/11, has been that you have a radical form of Sunni Islam that is being preached, and it's being directed from Saudi Arabia. And I don't see us being able to even approach any kind of resolution here until we go full on with clean energy. Because once we remove the profitability from gas and oil, these issues become localized and no longer have an effect on the overall economics, because everything that I've studied about war has been brought on by 2 different things. It's economics and religion. For the most part, you can take the religion as far as a separatist emotional issue, but nobody's directing it towards who we really should be looking at, who's starting all this, and who's funding the sources of the people who are creating it. I don't know. I hadn't heard anybody say it.
Yeah, I mean, important issues. And by the way, vote for Republicans if you want to go to the opposite direction of that. That's what Mitch McConnell was promising the Koch brothers the other day behind closed doors, that, you know, they're just going to go backwards on any kind of clean energy. All right. Next up, immigration. When the White House is crafting a blame it on Congress legal justification to back up President Obama's impending executive actions on immigration. See, this will be they kind of have to fill in the blanks. Either weak, indecisive, leading from behind, no strategy, or he is overreaching and he is Hitler. Phone pen Hitler.
Phone pen Hitler.
Right. Facing an expected onslaught of opposition because he does for everything. The administration plans to argue that Congress failed to provide enough resources to fully enforce U.S. laws, thereby ceding wide latitude to the White House to prioritize deportations of the 11.5 million people who are in the country illegally. Blah, blah, blah. After resisting calls to act alone in hopes Congress would pass a comprehensive immigration fix, Obama in June bowed to immigration activists and said that if Congress will not do their job, at least we can do ours. The most sweeping controversial step under consideration involves halting deportation for millions, a major expansion of a 2012 Obama program that deferred prosecutions for those brought here illegally as children. The president yesterday.
But have no doubt, in the absence of congressional action, I'm going to do what I can to make sure the system works better.
Oh, by the way, we just, I can't even remember now the great economic news that just came out yesterday.
That was awesome economic news. The economy grew much faster than anticipated.
Right. Thanks, Obama. No, I mean, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Companies are investing. Consumers are spending. Over the past 4.5 years, our businesses have now created nearly 10 million new jobs. So there are reasons to feel good about the direction we're headed.
Yeah, whatever. Stupid tan suit. Go on vacation too much.
That tan suit was kind of stupid.
It was not. Oh, for God's sakes. I see, now I need vacation because
of the tan suit.
Right, because of the criticisms of the president's vacation and his tan suit. All right. Jon Stewart's directorial debut, Rosewater.
Yeah.
is based on the imprisonment of journalists in Iran 5 years ago, Bahari, and in fact he was interrogated about an interview he did in Iran with The Daily Show. So Iran isn't very happy about it, accusing him of doing the bidding of his Zionist masters, Jon Stewart. What does Stewart think about that? The suggestion is that the CIA and Zionist lobby funded this. I guess I'm still waiting for the money. Because, once in a while I get accused of being a Zionist puppet whose paycheck is signed by a Jew. When I'm not being called a terrorist, Hamas terrorist sympathizer. He also addressed criticism he got for a bit on Israel a few weeks ago, including some pretty personal insinuation that he's a self-hating Jew. He said, look, there's a lot of reasons I hate myself. Being Jewish isn't one of them. So when someone starts throwing around or throwing around your pro-terrorists, it's just more disappointing than anything else. I made a living for 16 years criticizing certain policies I think are not good for America. That doesn't make me anti-American. And if I do the same with Israel, that doesn't make me anti-Israel.
Yeah.
And good for him. That's exactly what we've been going through here.
Exactly. Just because we criticize the far-right government of Israel doesn't mean we are anti-Jew.
No, because it depends on whether I actually get a paycheck, whether I am a Zionist puppet whose paycheck is signed by a Jew. All right. 45 minutes after the hour, we roll along. May Lee on her way in, hopefully. Journalist May Lee.
Whore.
Yes.
Noted whore.
Thank you. Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
This goes back to our Hello Mastodon. And you didn't play with Hello Kitty, you played with Hello Mastodon.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny. Never gets old, the mama's old jokes. Okay. Hilarious. Oh, I love my Twitterati. Okay. 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. Journalist May Lee on her way in. 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number, toll free from anywhere. All right, really, people, our country is just dumb.
What do we do now?
With everything going on in the world, the audacity of Taupe, really? That's the headline.
Because of the tan suit?
The audacity of Taupe. Obama suit creates a sartorial stir. The internet goes insane. The subjects were serious enough at President Obama's impromptu press conference yesterday, but many viewers in the collective press corps seized on something more immediately visible, his tan suit.
You couldn't avoid it.
The president's decision to address the media in a breezy, light-colored summer suit swiftly took center stage for many, even as he addressed, I don't know, just whatever, World War III, Russia, Ukraine.
And we covered all of that.
Ongoing U.S. airstrikes.
We covered all that on this show.
Iraq, ISIL. Yes, we tan became the rallying.
That's funny.
Just dumb. Began the mocking rallying cry on social media as Obama gave a statement and then took questions on what some have deemed a horrified press corps. Really? Just really?
I'm surprised you didn't get a question from the press. Hey, Mr. President, what's up with the suit?
Now they're already playing gotcha. Back in 2012, Obama told Vanity Fair, I only wear gray or black suits. Liar. See? Liar. What?
May's knocking on the window.
Okay. Hi.
Travis, let May in.
More delivery. Okay. By breaking that promise Thursday, even with what many acknowledge was a sharp-looking seasonal getup, see, some people agreed with me. I'm sorry, but you can't declare war in a suit like that and flawed the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, you really can't.
The audacity of Taupe tweeted somebody. Other comments similarly charitable. I hope they have a suitable strategy to keep ISIS at beige. I mean, what? Not everybody was amused. Somebody immediately started the parody handle Obama suit, but Twitter had already suspended that account. We're just a dumb country.
Well, you don't declare war in a suit that tan.
Could you get a jingle ready, please? You can declare war in whatever color suit you want. All right. Don't you wish you got home whore delivery?
I'm smiling.
Good morning, whore.
Hi. Okay, so you threw up the whore signal
right
when I was still sleeping.
I know.
And then I didn't really look at my phone until I was just about to leave. So then I saw it. I'm like, oh, no. Sorry.
You have failed
Thank you for coming.
in your whore duties.
A little bit.
Thank you for coming.
She was booked for 8 o'clock. I mean,
all right.
I was, and then
right.
she sends me a text message at like 6:20. If it's an emergency, you should call me.
Oh, okay. All right, I will.
Yeah.
I assumed that you were sleeping because you were out whoring.
No.
All right. Thank you for coming early.
Hi.
So what did you think of the president's tan suit yesterday?
Oh, I know. I noticed there's a little bit of a change for him. No, it was
We're
very
a dumb
noticeable.
country. Everybody's going insane. The audacity of taupe.
No,
yes,
I
we
liked
can.
it.
I did too.
No, you know why I liked it? I liked it. It was a nice little like summer suit to like sort of mark the end of summer.
Right.
But
I liked it.
The press conference had a little bit of gravity. Yeah, he was talking about some really heavy subjects, and
So?
you don't wear a summer suit.
You're not allowed to wear a light color?
You're not. No, you shouldn't wear a summer suit. This is men's fashion.
Well, no white
we're
after
talking about.
Labor Day, no declaring war
Oh, well,
in
you would know
beige
better
suit.
Yeah,
he would know better than us. He's gay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
he's not. Doesn't mean he's the boss of everything.
That's true.
All right.
No, it didn't bother me.
I didn't get the fashion gene. I can tell you that.
It didn't take away from his gravitas, if that's what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Well, at any
I ran
rate.
in here. Let me just I need to put some lipstick on.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
What kind of journalist is that? There are so much breaking news everywhere.
The president can't wear a tan suit, and Mei Lee can't not wear lipstick.
Oh, by the way, speaking of poor journalists that need to put lipstick on.
Oh.
Yeah, which one?
Did you hear about the Dishy book?
Yes.
What's it called? About female journalists.
I forgot what it was called.
I don't know what's the name of the book.
I forgot what it was called.
Anyway, so Katie Couric apparently said when Diane Sawyer got an interview instead of her, she said, "I wonder who she this time to get this interview," meaning that she must have a lot of other people to get a lot of other interviews.
Starts with a B, not
right.
We're talking about the word that starts with a B, not an F.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Not so good things about all of those women. You know, Diane Sawyer as well, and Christiane Amanpour.
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
Very dishy, very catty.
I really don't want to know what Christiane Amanpour has had to do for some of her interviews.
Well, no, it's exactly the opposite. They
Really?
claim that she's very elitist almost in the way that she behaves, and she thinks she deserves certain things because of what she's done in the field.
And who she is, yeah.
Which, she's paid her dues, man.
Yeah.
She paid her dues.
Right.
Yeah,
she's very
miffed,
apparently, that she got a show on CNN International and not the regular CNN.
Well, just so you folks understand, there's a huge division between CNNI and CNN USA.
Yeah, right.
And when I was at
May
CNNI,
says that, right.
Yeah.
She says this is a former CNNI journalist.
We sometimes were considered the ugly stepchild.
Yeah.
Right? And CNN USA would be sometimes very arrogant about things. And so Christiane, I can see why she felt that way. That
because of office politics kind of thing.
She thought of it as like the B team.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Even though, logically speaking, CNNI has over 1 billion viewers.
Right.
Okay, compared
it's doing a lot better right now than CNN.
Yeah, it
USA.
sure as hell is. And so, to think that we were second string versus the U.S. I don't think it was right, but unfortunately that was the culture.
Maybe they should have started Piers Morgan in the farm league over there.
Yeah, maybe they probably would have been better.
He was too
off.
Britishy for the irregular.
Oh, he would say stuff that nobody understood unless you were, unless you spent time in the UK. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I could go off, but
of course you could. Let's go to John. Oh no, John in Amherst. I haven't heard from him in a while. Hi, Jan. How you doing? Oh. John, what's happening with your phone? Hello. That's a shame. That's a shame,
bad
John.
connection.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll call back.
Nothing he says makes any better sense, even when you can't hear him.
But we got the best bit of information from John in Amherst about Stephanie.
Oh, do tell.
It was a lie, and he is a lying liar.
This isn't the carpet burning incident.
No.
He said I slept with the Pontillo brothers to get free pizza in Lockport.
Oh.
That's Pontillo Brothers Pizza.
No, that's not true.
That's not true?
Oh, and he also explained to us that the mortgage crisis was caused by a room full of black guys. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Room full of black guys. Okay, so lots to get to, including, did you see this? The NRA, did they tweet about, they said children can have fun at the shooting range.
Oh, I tweeted that out. I was so infuriated.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Vile.
Yeah. I love the, Andy Borowitz headline. Nation debates extremely complex issue of children firing military weapons.
Yeah. What a debate, huh?
All right, we'll be back with all that. And Mei Lee, noted whore, on the Stephanie Miller Show. Shush about the theme song. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. That sound you hear. Hello, journalist extraordinaire Maylee.
Although I did try to come in a little bit early because you threw up the whore signal.
Yes, I did.
I came in late, early.
I love all our Twitterati going, I want to be a whore, too. Can I be in the Dirty Horse Club?
Absolutely.
Yes, the answer is yes. You all can
and
be.
Here's how.
It says yes.
Here, you can all be a Dirty Whore. It's Dirty Whore Fridays, everybody.
It is Dirty Whore Fridays.
Okay.
It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, everyone should know. We should set the record straight.
Okay.
It's not because we're actual whores.
Right. Right.
This is just a term of affection, a term of endearment that we have for each other.
Right. We also used to call each other Sparky and Spunky. We don't remember why.
Yeah, just happened.
I stick with whore.
Okay. So anyway, but you have been a journalist since the Paleolithic era.
Yes.
Yes. And
since the Johnson administration, the Andrew Johnson administration.
Although I have to say, it's freaky. You look exactly the same as when we worked together. It's freaky.
I'm a vampire.
You are a vampire.
Well, you know what they say. Black don't crack, beige. What is it? Oh, no. Black don't crack, beige. Oh, man.
Whatever it is, if I said it,
I got to remember this because it's such a good one.
I'm sure our listeners can.
Beige don't age.
Okay.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry.
Asian stereotyping brought to you by Maylee.
I'll take that one, though.
I wondered if it was a racial thing, but thank you for explaining it.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. Now, all I know is white people were screwed because I look like an old shoe. Okay.
You kind of do.
Oh,
we were just describing our.
But your ass is spectacular.
We were just describing our hair coloring. Methods because this is old lady talk. Welcome to Old Whore Talk.
I know, it's so funny. We talk about such highbrow things in the break, don't we?
First you start with the tweezing. It's a couple. I'll just boink, boink, and then you start to look like a troll doll when they grow back, because then they grow back like straight up. So then you go, okay, and then I got a crayon. I got a hair crayon, and then I got.
They make hair crayons, or did you get an actual crayon?
Now the thing that looks like shoe polish, it's called root vanish, and you
no, but I told you about something new.
It's a spray.
It's called Style Edit. Oh, there's a couple different versions of it, but it's like looks like a hairspray,
right?
And it comes in different colors, and you just spray it, and it just covers immediately.
Wow,
it's awesome,
magic.
Yes,
but doesn't your scalp get sprayed too, and so your scalp looks a little funky?
No, it takes some practice.
Okay,
you're right. You're right. At first, I sprayed it too quickly, and it was like I had this big black patch on my head. Okay. That looked really funky. I looked like Spot the dog or something. I mean, it was weird.
And you know me, I'm not very good with spray, as we learned earlier this week.
Yes.
Did
you hear about this?
Oh, no.
I freeze-dried my vagina because I remember I hiked Mount Baldy and I couldn't walk, and I had to use a biofreeze spray on my thighs, and
what were you doing? Why were you spraying your vagina?
I didn't mean to.
She oversprayed.
It was like Agent Orange or something. She
sprayed downwind and
somehow drifted. I put my pajama bottoms on. I'm like, oh, something's.
So it's like a preservation technique as well, since you're not really.
Go with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would probably get that hair straight down there, and then who knows what that would look like.
A big black spot.
Yes. All right. Back to world events.
Okay.
May, you have said many times in all your history since the Paleolithic era covering news.
Yes.
This is bad. This is just. You were saying that the president came back a week early from
his vacation, and something must be brewing for him to come back from a vacation that early and to give this many speeches and press conferences all in a row.
And then just today, David Cameron of the UK announced that they were going to raise their terror threat alert to 3, which is very serious.
Yeah.
So something seems to be happening.
Yeah.
There must be something that these guys know about or are very concerned about.
Yeah.
So, this weekend, if you're traveling, it's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, great. I'm traveling today.
Be vigilant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to freak people out.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, just...
But that's the world we live in now.
If you wouldn't report a bag just sitting at the airport,
of course.
Stop paying attention to whether the person in front of you reclines or not. And let's get past that and pay attention.
Right.
If there's somebody
which I have a very strong opinion about.
Everybody does.
Everyone does.
I mean, obviously, I'm very petite, so it doesn't bother me.
You fit nicely in the overhead. I've traveled with you.
I can if I needed to, but that's never happened. Stephanie. But no, I think it's just like what people were saying. That guy who wrote in the New York Times, I believe, it's just like if you don't want to recline, then pay me. Or no, sorry, it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
If someone's gonna, recline against you, then just, pay me if you're not gonna, if you're gonna put up those little things.
Right.
So.
Yes,
Right.
because when you buy a plane ticket, you rent that seat for the length of the flight and all of its features, including the recline feature.
Yeah. See, everyone has their bias. Travis was whining because he's very tall.
Right.
He's 7'8" or something.
Right. Exactly. He's just under 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And May, at barely 2 inches tall, has obviously everybody has a bias.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And she just exaggerates way too much.
Yeah.
But anyway. But you know what, though?
May needs a booster seat in the. She needs a little baby seat in the
phone book.
Got it. Make her stop, Chris.
Sit on a phone book.
Oh, you too now. Oh, for crying out loud.
All right. So I mentioned this. You said you tweeted this out yesterday. Less than 2 days after the 9-year-old girl in Arizona actually shot and killed the gun range instructor who was showing her how to fire an Uzi, the NRA touted new ways for children to have fun at shooting ranges. They posted a tweet Wednesday afternoon to its NRA Women account that read, 7 ways children can have fun at the shooting range. The story linked its tweet lists a number of new and colorful targets it says will engage young shooters who've grown bored with the standard bullseye. In describing a pack of zombie targets, the author writes that children, quote, can imagine they're getting rid of the monsters from their nightmares.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I was reading this when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. It was so vile, so tasteless.
Yeah. I hadn't read this. So the Uzi can fire almost 30 rounds per second. Per second.
Yeah. Right. And the reason why, the girl couldn't control it is because, can you imagine?
Yeah.
That much firepower coming out of a gun.
Right.
For a 9-year-old girl to try and handle on her own.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as I said, common sense apparently has left the building a long time ago. This is why only Andy Borowitz can sum this up. His headline, Nation Debates Extremely Complex Issue of Children Firing Military Weapons. Across the U.S. on Wednesday, a heated national debate began on the extremely complex issue of children firing military weapons. Every now and then, the nation debates an issue that is so complicated and tricky it defies easy answers, said a pollster. Letting small children fire automatic weapons is such an issue. He said the thorny controversy is reminiscent of another ongoing national debate about whether it's a good idea to load a car with dynamite and drive it into a tree. Many Americans think it's a terrible idea, but others believe that with the correct supervision, it's perfectly fine. Who's to say who's right? Similarly, he said, is the national debate about using a flamethrower indoors. There's been a long and contentious national conversation about this. This is another tough one. Much like the long-running national debates about jumping off a roof, licking electrical sockets, and gargling with thumbtacks, the vexing issue of whether children should fire military weapons does not appear headed for a swift resolution. Like the issue of whether you should sneak up behind a bear and jab it with a hot poker, this won't be settled anytime soon.
Yeah, that's perfect. It states perfectly the ridiculousness of this issue.
Yeah, who was the guy yesterday, the gun nut caller yesterday? He said that my love of wine is the same thing. Owning a lot of bottles of wine is the same thing as owning a lot of guns. What? That's what I said.
Yeah.
What? It was a longer version of that conversation, what I basically said.
And did he have any logical explanation or reasoning behind that?
He said, because he said, it can be just as dangerous.
And deadly.
To drink wine? Or what, drive? Maybe drive.
That's what I said. I said using it irresponsibly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like using it.
When you use wine according to its instructions, you get happy. When you use a gun according to its instructions, you kill something.
Kill people, yeah. Exactly. Okay. Well, desperate reach.
Right. He
nice
said,
try.
He said,
nice
I
try.
have a bunch of guns that have never killed anybody. Are they defective? And he thought that was the cleverest thing he had ever said. Ever.
If you have a bunch of empty wine bottles, yes, they're defective.
No, they're defective if they're full. All right, John and Amherst on 10 Suitgate. Hello, John.
Hey, I have another suggestion as to how kids can probably enjoy theater.
John, we can barely hear you. You're like a mumble.
I'm sorry. It's just no light block. Do you hear it now? Like this I am? Can you hear me?
Better.
Not really.
Not really.
Oh, this.
All right.
Did you hear him? He sounded very sad. Oh, this sucks.
No. I'm sorry, John. By the way, we just mentioned, for historical perspective, Ronald Reagan wore tan suits a lot.
He did.
But
I never heard anybody criticize that.
But it was the 80s. You were allowed to back then.
Well, the 80s are coming back.
It's not like he was wearing some Miami Vice, like, powder pink suit or something. Anyway.
I can't believe this is a thing.
I know.
The audacity of taupe.
Yes, we tan.
Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, we have to break.
Oh, we do?
Oops. Yes, lots to get to as we continue. 17 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. All right, it is the Stephanie Miller Show. Journalist Hor Maley, live in studio with us.
Hello.
22 minutes after the hour. What? Oh, you were saying someone on Twitter called you a Margaret Cho wannabe?
A couple people have said that. Just because I also imitate my mother. So I tweeted back, I'm like, oh, so only one of every nationality, ethnicity can make fun of her mother. And that's it.
Yes, that's
everybody
the rule.
else is a wannabe.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
You know what your mother would say to that?
Hey. Yeah, of course she would.
All right.
She doesn't like Margaret Cho, though. She go, I don't like Margaret Cho.
I was just going to ask you what she thinks of Margaret Cho. Why does she not like her?
She disrespects her mother. She talked bad about her mother.
Your mother does not listen to this show, thankfully, so
Thank
she does not know that you are also disrespecting
But I don't talk bad about my mother.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You just do a horrible, an adorable little imitation.
Right.
Yes.
I know. I love my mother.
What?
She's so cute.
She is cute. I have met the aforementioned.
She should come on the show at some point.
Oh my God, that would be
awesome.
Hilarious. What was the last time? Oh, you were talking. She was talking about the weather, and she said,
"It's so crispy." Yeah. Right. Instead of crisp.
All right.
She also talked about. She said one day to me, "I need to go SUV," and I said, "Oh, you need to take the SUV somewhere? Yeah, I need medicine. I need to go SUV." I'm like, where's SUV? She's like, oh, no, CVS. CVS.
Okay, that's entirely different.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, that is adorable. Yeah. All right. What was I going to say? Oh, I saved Chick Stack for you.
Oh.
Senator Gillibrand says her male colleagues called her porky and chubby.
Yeah.
And you wonder why. Oh, and where's the other headline? Women don't think the GOP cares about them. Internal report confirms. You think?
Yeah, they were talking about that on MSNBC yesterday, and even Andrea Mitchell said that there were some senators that she wouldn't get in an elevator with. Because they would be a little bit handsy.
Yeah. And
nice.
Dana Bash on CNN said the same thing about, she said after she had her child, some senator said to her, oh, you better get your figure back.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, she said, it's a certain generation,
right?
Which I believe.
But it's both parties. Both parties, exactly. Both women agreed that it was both parties that did it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's a generational thing more so than anything else, which I believe.
Yeah.
New York's junior senator, Kirsten Gillibrand, this is in her upcoming memoirs, that her male colleagues have made comments about her body and weight in the Capitol gym, on the campaign trail, and even on the House floor. Choice remarks included, good thing you're working out because you wouldn't want to get porky. Don't lose too much weight now. I like my girls chubby.
Ew.
And then another one. Kirsten, you're even pretty when you're fat. Really?
Oh,
really?
wow.
Really, bastard people? Bastard people.
Yeah.
So this spring, the House unanimously approved the measure.
And I'll tell you why I can't put up with you people, because you're bastard people.
Mm-hmm. They approved a measure to fund better sexual harassment training for lawmakers and their staffers. Jackie Spear, our congresswoman from out here, so this is the House of Representatives, not a frat house.
Yeah.
That is actually, I'm just shocked. Yeah. I don't know why that you would, talk to a senator that way.
But again, I mean, not to excuse it, but it seems like Dana Bash was saying this as well. She's like, it's clearly those members who are like 70 plus years old, much older, much different generation, different times. She's like, I cannot imagine, someone from the floor who's 50 and under ever saying something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My friend says an uncle that every time, our friend Trish goes over there, he goes, hey, you're pretty. Come on, sit on my knee over here. Just like, no. Yes. Oh, a new they've done is this an autopsy of the autopsy or just an internal report? A new internal Republican report confirmed that women are not fans of the GOP. Republicans have more work to do if they want the female vote.
I am not one of your fans!
Report found that though they've tried to improve outreach to female voters, I guess in a way that's kind of handsy and not really respectful. Yes. In an ass-grabby way. Right. They believe the party's stuck in the past and intolerant. And so, there. Is that I was saying they're going to have an even tougher time, particularly if Hillary's the nominee.
But is that supposed to be a news flash? We didn't know that before?
No. It's just confirming what we already... How about this one? GOP governor wants supermarkets to sell wine so women can get home faster and make dinner. What? What? Tom Corbett, the Republican...
from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my God.
No way.
He has poll numbers so terrible. Today, the Washington Post labeled them epically bad.
Wait a minute. First of all, Pennsylvania doesn't sell wine in its supermarkets?
Who knew?
He opposed same-sex marriage, spent up to $400 an hour on outside attorneys to defend the ban in court. That's after he compared same-sex marriage to incest. He once claimed his administration really wanted to hire Hispanics. They just couldn't seem to find any. None of this has helped his popularity. His numbers likely to take a dive again after comments he made last month are just now hitting the mainstream press. He said, I think a lot of people want to be able to walk into a grocery store, particularly a lot of the women, want to go and buy a bottle of wine for dinner.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Because why? We're all a bunch of drunk.
Right, and buy dinner and go home rather than what I described as 3 stops in Pennsylvania. Well, he just wants it to make it easier for women to get wine.
I see.
He wants to relax his state's liquor laws so women can buy a 6-pack or 2 6-packs, buy dinner and go home, and presumably cook for their man.
Huh.
No, a 6-pack is what a whore buys.
Yes, of course.
Right, we know that. Yeah. That's my nightly stop.
Exactly.
What kind of draconian liquor laws does Pennsylvania have where you can't
you have to buy it separately? You can't buy it in the supermarket.
Yeah, I remember Ohio used to be like that when I was growing up. I don't know if it's still like that. I can't say for sure. But yeah, you had to go to a liquor store, a designated liquor store.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like that anymore, though.
Wow. I have one friend that we were at the drugstore. He's like, oh, we have to get my wine. And I was like, you can get the wine at Rite Aid? This is a really crappy wine. It's like I don't know what it is.
Right.
Moscato, something.
Ugh.
MD 2020.
Something. I was like, really? You buy your wine at the drugstore?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 29 minutes after the hour, back with more May Lee live in studio on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Hey, Bert.
Stephanie Miller.
It's hotter than a Calgary brush fire. Mind if I ask a root?
It is the Stephanie Miller Show, 34 minutes after the hour, 1-800-STEPH12. Journalist May Lee, live in studio.
Yay.
Guess what? What? Beyonce and Jay-Z tricked you into buying your concert tickets. Beyonce's dad has claimed his daughter and Jay-Z orchestrated divorce rumors to ignite ticket sales, and you fell for it.
I know. He said it was like a Jedi mind game or something. I don't know about that. I mean, that's Beyonce's dad, so maybe he knows better, but I'm not sure about that.
He also hinted that the infamous elevator incident,
that was all faked.
That he was leaked to improve the ticket sales and album sales.
Did he say that it was faked, though, also?
No, he said it was leaked.
Okay, so that really happened.
That looked real to me.
No kidding, because I was going to say that was a really good acting job. Yeah, I don't know about that. You know that he was never in favor of Beyonce marrying Jay-Z.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you go deep in your Beyonce knowledge.
I do.
You're in the Bajancy.
I kind of am.
Didn't she fire him when they started dating?
Yeah, technically not fired, but he was not happy with Jay-Z.
And which of us wouldn't have liked to have fired our dads at some point in our teenage years? Dad, you're fired.
That's true.
Especially when he walked in on you and Tommy Martin or whatever making out on the couch.
No, you've got that story wrong. I was making out with someone on the couch. I don't remember who it was. Gary. It was Gary.
Gary?
Okay. Listen.
To bread. Bread.
Yes.
Bread music.
Yes, the music, right.
See, she was such a whore back then.
I know, right?
A whore back then, a whore now, and forever.
Once a whore. Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Beyonce's dad is going to launch his own Beyonce boot camp. I think you should go to that. You are so into Beyonce, you should go.
Well, what do they do, though?
We'll teach people how to be like Beyonce.
Oh.
It's a training course called the Entertainment Industry. How do I get in?
Really?
Right.
No.
If you want to really be in the agency.
Yeah. Maybe I would do a story on it, but I don't think I would actually do it.
Okay.
I don't believe that, though. I'm telling you. As a Beyonce fan, I don't think that it was all made up. I think there's some reality to all of this. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
As, by the way, just to review, May accidentally bought tickets to the show in San Francisco.
Yes.
Instead of L.A.
Right.
Which is where I live. So I had to fly up to San Francisco.
Right.
But it was worth it.
Right.
But it was a really stupid move on my part, yes.
Yeah.
I just got so excited about buying the tickets.
Right.
I didn't pay
panicky.
attention to where the tickets, were.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Listen, there's more important things going on, like the fact that Hello Kitty, is not a cat. The apparently shocking revelation made in an LA Times article. It's really, there's a disturbance in the force field now.
I know a lot of my friends are upset about
Hello
this.
Kitty is not a cat. She's a cartoon character. She is a little girl. She is a friend.
Personification of a cat.
She's
apparently.
a friend, but she's not a cat. She is never depicted on all fours. She walks like a two-legged creature. She does have a pet cat of her own, however. It's called Charmy Kitty.
Yeah. So, this came as a complete shocker to me, obviously, because, I lived in Japan for 5 years, and it was Hello Kittyville everywhere, right? But I've got to tell you something. The Japanese are a little odd sometimes about certain things, and so it didn't surprise me.
They fixate on some weird things.
Yes, so it didn't surprise me that they're adamantly saying, no, she is not a cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them saying that and having a reason for why they're making the statement.
Yeah, well, exactly. We still don't know if Tony Soprano is dead. But we do know.
And Walter White. Yeah, we don't know, about him either. So, yeah.
But we do know that Brad and Angelina are married. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You know who did not know? John Voight, Angelina's dad, right-wing wacko, Fox News guest. When asked if he had a comment, he said, "That's nice."
Oh.
But you know what? Good for them for pulling it off without anybody knowing. That's pretty amazing.
I know.
In this day and age,
they've got just under 1 billion children.
Yes.
Children tend to be chatty.
That's right.
And nobody found out about it until 4 days
That's
after.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Nobody knew about it leading up to it. Nobody found out about it 4 days after.
Nope. I mean, talk about controlling, their universe. Yeah. Amazing.
I thought Angelina can be a little controlling.
You know the only thing relevant to me? They make a delightful rosé. Just thought you should know. It's called Miraval or something.
Oh.
Really?
Yes. You've tried it?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you've tried it. What am I saying? That was a stupid question, wasn't it?
You said when you buy wine here at the supermarket, you can, you get a really good deal, especially if you buy
you get 20% off if you buy 6 of them at
once. And I'm
once.
like, do you think I've ever in my life bought less than 6 bottles? Oh, can you do that? Can you buy less than 6 at a time? I've bought such an embarrassing amount of wine at the supermarket that every time they ask, yes, I'm having a party.
You have a lot of parties, miss.
Yes. Ooh, it's a big one. Big party.
Party of
I thought you got wine delivered.
No.
I thought, no.
Is there such a thing?
The big wine store down here?
No.
No? They don't deliver?
I don't know.
I'm sure they do.
I think they do.
Of course, wine is delivered.
If you buy enough of them, I think they do.
Yes, wine is delivered. I just ordered
I used to in New York. Remember where I lived in New York when we worked together?
Yeah.
I used to order, they had a delivery, and I remember one time after an order, the guy goes, "Is everything okay out there?"
Did they say that to you?
Oh, my God, yes. Kenny Pick.
Maybe they're required to. State law.
It comes with an AA flyer.
Oh, that's sweet that he was so concerned.
Kenny Pick. Hi, honey bunny.
Hey, I know a little something about drinking and the liquor laws in Ohio.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania, and Chris, it's terrible. You can only buy beer at booze stores,
right,
state stores, whatever.
Right.
And you can only buy a case at a time. You cannot buy a 6-pack.
Yeah, I think.
That's weird.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been out.
No, people are tweeting me left and right about the liquor laws in Pennsylvania, and it's just really messed up.
Do a separate store for wine, a separate store for beer, and then you can't get either of them at the supermarket.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's crazy.
May, to your question, in Ohio though, you can buy whatever you want. You can buy single beers at gas stations now.
Oh, so they've completely changed the laws.
Yeah, wherever you want. Yeah, it's a pleasure to speak to you, May. This is the first time I've had to.
Oh,
yeah, this is
nice.
Kenny Pick in Cleveland.
Hi. Oh, you're in Cleveland. You're a Buckeye too, so you would know.
Indeed. So I just thought I would let you guys know the lowdown on Ohio and Pennsylvania liquor laws.
All right.
You have it.
Thank you for
good.
those drinking fun facts, Kenny.
Yay.
All right.
So
All right, have a great vacation.
Thanks, baby.
So Ohio isn't as uptight anymore about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Thank God I am never leaving California. Let's go to Michelle in Pittsburgh. You're on with May. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, May. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I started off. I wanted to tell you that the shooting range actually used to give birthday parties for children, which is
the one that this girl shot the instructor at. Oh boy,
that's unbelievable. But
wow.
You can now buy beer in select grocery stores in Pennsylvania. Not all of them, but just some.
But someone tweeted me that you can only get near beer in 6-packs at the grocery stores.
You can buy 6-packs if you go into a bar.
Okay.
But you can order 6 packs.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Good God.
That
by the way,
seems safe.
I'm going to visit my mom, my 91-year-old Republican mom in Charlotte, North Carolina today.
Yep.
Where do you think my first stop will be? Harris Teeter.
Yep.
Harris Teeter to get my wine and also coffee. Because my mom will go like, oh, no, dear, I have coffee. And it's like something that's been in the freezer since I swear to God I was in high school. And it's like, oh, it's fudge-flavored decaf amaretto coffee.
I just think in the mess.
We don't do flavored coffees on the Stephanie Miller Show.
For the amount I'm going to have to watch Fox News, I'm going to need. Yeah.
Is it
Fox
always
News.
on?
Yeah. That's how I found my mom once when we were when I was visiting. We were at a hotel. Oh, she came to Sexy Liberal.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what room of the hotel she was in, and I just went to where I was like, the room that has Fox News blaring at the highest possible decibel level. Yeah.
Oh.
So I need a little,
Yeah, for sure.
Mary in Tucson, you're on with May. Hello, Mary.
Buenos dias, puta.
Buenos dias.
Hello.
Well, one of the reasons I left Pennsylvania and now live in Arizona is I can just go to the Safeway and get whatever the hell I want.
Exactly.
Right.
There's two particular reasons I'm calling. One is with respect to what you and Haley were talking about earlier, CNN National versus CNN America versus CNN International.
Right.
My family and I lived in South America for 2.5 years, and the English sources of news for us were CNN International and BBC World.
Right.
And they actually do news.
That's
really
right.
In-depth journalism, not a lot of these fluff pieces. I mean, no, we're joking around about the president's suit and how it was tote, but that seems to be a lead story on many news feeds,
Right.
Whereas that would just be a non-starter in CNN International or BBC World.
Yes, definitely, Mary. I mean, that's the thing.
Right.
It's too bad that they're not as respected as news organizations and not watched. They don't get the viewership that they would here, in the U.S. if they were aired on the U.S. So that's why, for instance, Al Jazeera, they do great stories. They do great reporting, great news coverage, and they're just failing here right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, screw them because they took my job.
That's right.
Excuse
They
me,
did.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's personal for me.
Yeah, it is personal.
Their ratings.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
They
that's
ate
right.
my network.
Oh, they did.
And their ratings are much worse than Current's.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, who's going to watch Al Jazeera in America?
Jackie was telling us about her meeting with them, and they're like, well, whatever we do is going to be better ratings than Current. And they have, a quarter of the ratings.
I believe it, though. I believe it for the mere fact that because it's Al Jazeera, there's a stigma. But when it comes to news coverage, all of these international networks do such a better job. They're so much more aware of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So that was much more open-minded.
I had a friend being very happy clapping, like, no, I'm sure they're going to offer you something. You guys have the #1 show.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am a lesbian in a baseball hat. What do you not get about that? And I drive my own car. What do you...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Paul in Seattle, you're on with May. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you hear this follow-up on the little girl who shot the instructor?
Uh-huh.
And the instructor has a family, his wife, and I guess he has a little girl about the same age. And they wrote this other girl a letter that struck me so weird. It said, now, you don't have to feel bad about this for the rest of your life. And I just thought, this sounds like, well, next time we play with assault weapons, honey, you just have to be a little more careful, okay? You know?
Boy.
You know, no more tears. This is weird.
Yeah, well.
This is really strange that, you know, first of all, the NRA wants to, they always talk about how responsible gun ownership and responsible gun training, you should get training, but we have burgers and bullets where you go and play with guns.
Yeah.
And you know, something like this happened here in Seattle about 20 years ago. A church group went to the firing range, and there was a lady who was firing a 44, you know, Dirty Harry, and she was trying to rapid fire it, and every time it would kick back, it was going over her head. But
God.
she kept trying to shoot it, and so she shot. One time it went over behind her, and she pulled the trigger, and it shot the guy behind her.
My God.
I mean, it's just, you know, this idea that you go shoot guns for fun is crazy.
Yeah, well, and what else is crazy? Burgers and bullets. Like you're like, what's better than greasy trigger fingers when you're operating
an Uzi?
An Uzi, right? Yeah.
I don't have a problem with what he was talking about, though, about the wife and his daughter.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, that's nice.
You know, I mean, it's the poor girl. Yeah, she's going to have to live with this for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
You know,
I know exactly. How do you get over this at 9?
I don't think you do. I think it sticks with you. But to get forgiveness, I suppose. I don't know if that was a letter of, you know, saying we forgive you and please don't feel bad about this.
Yeah.
That's all right. What I have a problem with is the parenting.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean, at the core of this is like, what are parents thinking taking a 9-year-old, you know, to a shooting range and letting them handle an Uzi?
It also took the people at the shooting range to put the gun in her hand. So
yeah, but you know, I was listening to an interview of another shooting range owner who said, no, we do not do this. We don't allow 9-year-old children to handle these kinds of guns. And he said, I'll give you a perfect example. Parents came in with their 2 boys. One was older, one was younger. The older one we did allow to use certain guns, but the younger one we said absolutely not, you can't. And the kid threw a freaking tantrum apparently in the galley. And so they said, we're never coming back here again. You know, but that's the thing, you know.
That's a responsible firing range owner.
And I was like, okay, I applaud that guy, but still, it's like, wow. So this is happening everywhere.
I was reading a tweet that that someone just said, I'm unclear. You have to be a certain age to drive, to vote, to buy alcohol, but a 9-year-old can legally handle an Uzi.
Yeah. Oh no, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah.
48 minutes after the hour, back with the remaining moments with May Lee on the Stephanie Miller Show.
This is the
Have a great Labor Day week, everybody. Mom will be on vacation.
I know.
Great. Totally.
So
That comes up fast.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Can I go now?
You can't. No.
All right.
You still have 7 minutes.
Okay. 1-800-STEPH-12, the phone number. May Lee, journalist, horror extraordinaire, live in studio with us. So we were talking about of all of the horrifying news going on in the world, that Hello Kitty is not a cat.
And she's a British girl.
Right. And you spent a lot of time.
Random. Yeah.
You said you spent a lot of time in Japan, and
I did. You know, working for CNN, and one of the stories that I did for CNN that was seriously one of the most popular stories that they were running at the time. It was about people's obsession with Hello Kitty and the whole Sanrio, company. So they have all these characters. They have a Hello Kitty land. Kind of like Legoland, Disneyland.
Oh, boy, yes.
And adults would go there to get married. So you would have a Hello Kitty wedding.
Oh, boy.
And you would be married by the wisdom tree, and,
I guess it's no weirder than our Elvis Chapel, but okay.
No, but the characters would be, running around, and you would have people screaming like they were the Beatles, and these kids running up to Kedopi, the frog, and they would be like, Kedopi! And losing their minds.
You know what? People do the same thing to Elsa and to Mickey and everything at Disneyland.
It's true. That's true. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I guess so. But getting married by a wisdom tree, I'm not sure.
No, people, you know what? Disney freaks get married at Disney World. They have whole marriage packages that you get.
Do they? And Mickey does the ceremony?
He can do it for you if
I can see how
Wow.
gays are ruining the seriousness and sanctity. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Don't you have an annual pass to Disneyland?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm one of those Disney nuts.
You had asked, speaking of which, you asked May last week because she's lived all over the world, how many languages you've spoken of the places you've been. And
Right. I speak some Japanese. I obviously speak Korean because I'm Korean.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got to Hong Kong, I stopped trying to learn the languages.
They speak English.
Because it was a British colony, it was English. And then Singapore, interestingly, they speak English. That's the main language. But they also speak Singlish, which is a mixture of like weird sort of hybrid Singaporean Chinese and then English, right?
Wow.
And it's like this. Ah, you okay la? No se la. La. Everything's la.
Yeah. Did you ever get caned for chewing gum?
No, but guess what? I had to register at the pharmacy to buy gum because they finally allowed gum, but only in mint flavor because they serve a purpose, right? Not for recreational use.
That is weirder than Pennsylvania.
So I had to buy it because I was like, oh my God, I gotta try this. They made me register my name, my ID number, everything in the book.
Wow.
Yes!
That's weirder than Pennsylvania liquor laws. Right. Of which Amy is an expert. Hello, Amy in Pennsylvania.
Hey, Mama Mooks and
Hello.
May.
Hello.
I wanted to explain. Yes, it's true that we can't buy any alcohol at all in the supermarkets, and the liquor laws here are very, very antiquated. But it's not true what who said it? Chris said it, I think, about that you can only buy a case. If you go to one of the beer there's three ways to buy alcohol. You go to a beer distributor to get your beer and your hard cider.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a state store or a package store for your hard spirits.
Okay.
This is driving me to drink.
Go to a restaurant. And okay, so here's the deal. At the beer store, you can only buy cases. They can't break up cases.
Right.
But the way stores get around it, especially supermarkets, is they open small cafes in their supermarket store, and then they're a restaurant, and they can get a liquor license, and you can mix your 6-packs, you can make your own craft pack, whatever you like. You can buy one bottle.
My God. All right, God, buying liquor would just drive me to drink if I lived in Pennsylvania.
That is.
I know why I don't get delivery because you can get the best deal at the supermarket here on wine, and they don't deliver.
No.
You have to go pick it.
Oh no, actually they do deliver.
Really?
Supermarkets deliver. I know.
You can get some good deals when you.
If I called that wine order in to Vons, they'd be like, "What?"
They'd call that into the state liquor.
And I would have to yell, "I am not a drunk. I'm having a party.
I am not a drunk."
All right. Oh, you know what? And you always accuse me of only saving Asian stories for when you're here, so we don't have time now to talk about the panda in China that may have faked a pregnancy so she could eat better.
Oh,
a panda!
Oh, my belly, look.
All right.
I love it.
Maylee, love you. Gonna miss you next week.
Have a great vacation.
Thank you. Have a great week. We'll see you.
Next.
Right.
Yeah,
probably.
the week after.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great Labor Day. Okay. Bye.
Bye.